but I want to come out and apologise because I feel, you know, it's appropriate to make that apology to the people who came to the press conference and the viewing audiences. I sincerely apologise, and I'll try and improve.
And that sells, so people want to talk about it, but in hindsight, my dad says a lot of stuff, and does it ever affect one? Then tell me how you don't agree.
Well, hold on a minute. If it's in this country, yeah, then there's only a certain amount of money.
Good morning, people. Just want to make a quick apology for my inappropriate language yesterday. You know, it's unacceptable. I accept that. You know, but emotions run high. We get involved, and it is the fight game. It was pandemonium. You know, but let me sincerely apologise for my outburst of language. You know, I wasn't alone doing it, but I want to come out and apologise because I feel, you know, it's appropriate to make that apology to the people.
My dad, my brother, my cousin, anybody said something about me, whether it was positive or negative, it wouldn't really mean anything to me. Just like someone might say to me, oh, have you seen that negative interview that's been done about you in the paper? And I'd say, I haven't, but why it doesn't concern me is because if there was a positive interview in there, that wouldn't concern me. Yeah. And if it was a negative, that wouldn't concern me.
And if he does it again and he's over, he's going to get fined again. And I don't know if it's by the pound, by the ounce, what he's getting fined for. Well, it's threatening, actually, and quite. You know, if I was a bit of a snowflake, then I'd have been upset. I'd have been offended by it because it was threatening. He was calling it on, and he was saying basically, "Watch your back. You don't want to go back to prison." So he needs to be careful, doesn't he? When he's talking about going back to prison, so he's putting loose threats out there.
Who knows? You know, they're great at self-promoting, aren't they? And you know, listen, you've heard it all before. You've seen it all before. When TYSON FURY fights, the whole circus comes to town, and everybody just jumps on board and says the first thing that comes into their head. So it is what it is. Like I said, I don't think Froch should be disappointed with that one bit. You're not, certainly. You know, so is it good for the sport? They're promoting the fight. Simple as that.
Damn. No beef for you at all, but don't talk shit about me because it's not gonna end well for you. About talking about mentioning your name for clout. I'm mentioning your name because you're chatting shit. Your old man stepped out of line. He's been put in his place. Been put back in his box. Good luck to TYSON FURY because he's got a big fight.
Of the king of the world. I think he's referring to TYSON FURY. You know, when you have kids, you know, most people, when they want to talk about their children, they might pull their mobile phone out and show a few pictures. Big John just shows his balls. That's where they came from. If there's anyone who needs a man...
Plain and simple. I mean, geez. I mean, look, we've all seen the tantrums he's had. You know, headbutting walls and headbutting people and smashing perspex glass and holding his balls and saying he's the king of the world and King Kong balls and whatever else. And I was just fed up of it, you know.
Any more of it, that's for sure. And everybody wants to show some respect to each other. And let's see the fight where it should happen, in the ring.
John Fury just crossed a line with Carl Froch, and his own son is warning him to back down before this gets completely out of hand.
Pressure is now on John to behave himself. He's distracted, a lot of attention and talk, and I'm quite sure someone will have a word with Matt. The authorities will have a.
Look, we've seen John Fury lose it before, but this time is different. When your own heavyweight champion son is publicly telling you to chill out, you know things have gone way too far.
I mean, listen, it's boxing, it's family. John's John. Both goading each other. Both very personal. Both means a lot to everybody. Shouldn't have done it.
Here's what's wild, though. Tyson's not just worried about embarrassment. He's genuinely concerned because Carl Froch isn't some random guy talking trash on Twitter. This is a former world champion who could actually back it up.
John Fury is a big bully, and big bullies need putting into place. And if I'm the man that has to do it, I will do it. I don't want to beat an old man up. I don't want to start on a 60-year-old man. But when I look back, when I beat George Groves up in front of 80,000 fans at Wembley Stadium, rendering him unconscious, he was 11 years younger than me. I'm only 10 years younger than Big John Fury. I know he doesn't look well, does he? He looks a bit older. I don't want to give him any stick, but he's 10 years older than me, 60-year-old man. I'm pressing on for 50. So, is it a fair fight?
And get this, John Fury had to publicly apologize and pay a fine after his press conference meltdown. That's when you know the Boxing Commission is taking this seriously. They don't hand out fines for regular promotional banter.
And then there's Froch, who's been paid to fight. He's used to getting money for knocking guys out. I'm sure if they put enough knocks in front of Carl Froch, then he might rise to it. but he ain't going to rise to it if there's no money on the table, if there's no end goal. If you want to punch up, you can go out in the street and have that any day.
But here's where it gets interesting. Tyson admits he doesn't usually care what people think, but when it comes to his father's safety, that's a completely different story. The concern in his voice is real.
Paul's a genuine, like, world champion level fighter, and he's actually bigger than you'd think, right, when you meet him. He's a lot younger than John, and his peak was outrageously good, right? And he's kept himself in shape. And even now, I remember I had a chat with Eddie Hearn, like, about, like, you know, what fighter you've met is, like, the toughest fighter. And he said to me, like, if I'm ever in a bit of bother, the man I want standing next to me at a pub or whatever is called fucking...
Johnny Nelson dropped some truth bombs about the financial side. Every time John Fury loses his temper, it costs money. More outbursts equals more fines. And that pressure falls right back on Tyson to control the situation.
But if Carl did do it, I think Carl would smash him. But I just don't think he will do it. Because he's got that memory, he's got that something about him. That he's at an age where he's still physically fit enough and strong enough if he commits himself to...
Now listen to Carl Froch's response. He's not laughing this off or treating it like promotion. He called John Fury's comments threatening and crossed a line. When Froch takes something seriously, you should too.
He was probably one he was attached to the most and the most invested in.
The boxing world is split on this. Some say it's just hype and promotion gone wild. Others think John Fury genuinely threatened a former world champion and needs to face consequences. But wait, it gets worse. Eddie Hall called out John Fury for constant talking without backing it up. Even Frank Warren condemned the behavior as damaging to boxing's image. That's serious criticism from serious people. Here's the kicker, though. Multiple experts agree that if this actually happened, Froch would destroy John Fury. We're talking about a 60-something-year-old man challenging a former super middleweight world champion who's still in incredible shape. Duke McKenzie broke it down perfectly. Froch only gets involved when there's real money or real disrespect. This isn't promotional games anymore. John Fury managed to make it personal with someone who has nothing to prove. So there you have it. A family drama that's turned into a boxing crisis, with Tyson Fury caught in the middle trying to protect his father from a fight he absolutely cannot win. This shows how quickly emotions can spiral in boxing when pride and respect collide outside the ring. Here's my question for you. Do you think Tyson's right to distance himself from this mess? Or should he stand behind his father no matter what? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Smash that like button if this breakdown opened your eyes, and subscribe because boxing drama like this is just getting started. But you know what makes this even more complicated? The timing couldn't be worse for the Fury family. Tyson's got massive fights on the horizon, and his father's antics are becoming the main storyline instead of his boxing legacy. Think about it from Tyson's perspective. He's worked his entire career to be taken seriously as a heavyweight champion. Now every interview becomes about damage control for his father's behavior instead of discussing his next opponent or training camp. And here's something most people are missing. John Fury's outbursts aren't happening in isolation. There's a pattern here that goes back months. The press conference incident, the social media rants, and now this situation with Froch. Each episode gets more intense than the last. Carl Froch isn't backing down either. He's doubled down on his position, saying John Fury needs to learn there are consequences for crossing certain lines. When someone like Froch draws a line in the sand, smart people don't step over it. The really crazy part? Industry insiders are saying this could affect Tyson's future promotional deals. Networks and sponsors don't want unpredictable family drama overshadowing their investment. John's behavior isn't just embarrassing, it's potentially costing his son millions. What's fascinating is how other boxing families are watching this unfold. You've got legends like Sugar Ray Leonard and Oscar de la Hoya staying completely silent. That speaks volumes about how the boxing community views this situation.